see. Hey, how is everyone? Back with a stack that is probably too large. I'll probably split this into a few videos. I picked up quite a few of really cool pieces in the past sort of month. I've been selling quite a few items on Discogs, and surprisingly getting quite a bit more than I would if I traded them at a record store. So I've managed to get a fair amount of pieces I'm really happy with. You know, I'd say grails or things to cross off the want list, you know. And I'm really enjoying just focusing on getting things off the want list rather than going to a record store and maybe picking up things that you sort of want, that you would like, but you know aren't in your top list. Anyway, so yeah, I thought I'd put this one in the background. I showed this in my last video and talked about it, but didn't really play any of the music. Anyway, I thought I'd give it a bit of a needle drop since it's a really cool little intro. John, Cale, Terry Riley, Church of Anthrax. So yeah, that's in the background. But I get stuck into what I have here. I think I've got about 7 or 8. Sort of, I don't know how I suppose you would say, Krautrock or cosmic, electronic, spacey, modern, ambient, classical, not really, space, rock. Generally that sort of genre, not much jazz or indie or anything like that. But without further ado, to continue on from Terry Riley, I thought I picked up this one, a Rainbow and Curved Air from Terry Riley, originally US pressing from, isn't it like 67 or something? Something crazy early, and when you hear it you go, this is insane for 1967. Amazing record. So textured, it's sort of like outer spacey and inner spacey at the same time. I'll just turn this down a little bit, sorry. I don't know how to describe it. It's when I posted this on the Facebook pages, Jeff Glowing Double Like Cabbage, he said every time he hears this, he hears something new. Every time he listens to this, and I can totally see that. It's delicate and spacious at the same time. Yeah, just a really cool piece. So now I've got this one in C. And there's a couple more I'd like to get eventually, but yeah, I'm really happy to get an original US price of this. I got this by trading a few items 2 weekends ago now. There's a really nice poem on here, a bit of poetry. I'm not going to read it out to you, even though I'm sure you'd all love to see me read poetry on camera. But I won't. I'll leave it at that. Terry Riley, A Rainbow and Curved Air. Essential record. Some coffee. Decaf because it's Sunday afternoon and I probably won't sleep tonight. Alright, so I'll just start with this. First record from Popol Vuh. Popol Vuh? Popol Vuh. I better choose when I stick with it because I've got 3 of their Wawa reissues in the pile here. So I didn't get these when they came out in 2013, and then I sort of wanted them for a while, and the reissues were getting expensive, and I thought I better just do it, pull the trigger before they go completely out of print, because I think these were only limited to like 1,000 or something like that. Yeah, I think it's 1,000. Anyway, these like you guys all know how well these Wawa reissues are done. Beautiful gatefold. Original. This is like a $300 record for an original on Discogs. So yeah, this is the first record, Affenstunde, which I think translates to monkey hour or something like that. And the cover art is actually a photograph of a house in Berlin that belonged to a wealthy family who, I think they were sort of got done for trying to create a plot to kill Hitler. I read that online. I thought that was kind of a cool little fact. So yeah, this was the first record to use the, I I think the Moog synthesizer in an experimental way. So as you can hear from that statement, that's like a really monumental album, a really important record. And this, like, I knew it was good, but when I got to the second side, it really got me. Like, it got me here. I was like, this is unbelievable. You know, there's like records that are meant to be good, and they go, yeah, these are good. This was just beyond expectation. Weird ambient electronic. I know later on the music gets a lot more spiritual because they use like a church organ and stuff like that. But yeah, this was brilliant. I mean, and look at these photos. And I should show Wawa. The packaging's amazing. They've come with this. Look at that for a photograph. That's amazing. Comes with a little booklet, and I think there's a poster in here as well. There you go. Anyway, so I picked up 3 of these reissues. Grabbed this one in the garden. I think it translates to "in the Pharaohs Garden." I think this was their 3rd record, or his 3rd record, should I say? Well, you know, the 3rd record. I could be wrong. Anyway, yeah, this is amazing. This is so spiritual and so spacey, and just these massive, almost droning church organ sounds, and then just this percussion that just hits you right through the middle. Mind blowing, absolutely. Like this is. I knew the band, and I never actually had been able to sit down and listen to them properly, because I've always known that these pieces are sort of music that you hear a snippet on YouTube doesn't really cut it, you know. Like to hear it on vinyl and give it full attention, it really gets you. I think this is just, yeah, I mean, masterpiece, brilliant. I researched more facts about these things. I can't remember what I've researched, so I'm not overly informative. Yeah, anyway. 3rd one. So this is, I think, the 5th album. I think Hosiana Mantra is the one before that, which is what I really like to get. I should jump on that one. This one is called, I'll pronounce it incorrectly, as we all seem to do with anything that's not primarily the English language. Seligs Proyon. You can read it. I don't need to pronounce it. So this one is more of a band feel. So they're sort of going of a more Eastern psych drone. Like when I heard this, I thought more of like maybe like Agitation Free or something like that. I mean, that's the only reference point I have, but I got reminded of that. It didn't get me the way those two like got me, and I was you know, stunned by those 2 records. It's very good. It's really cool. I understand the sound behind it and the Eastern instruments used, and it's very cool. I just wasn't blown away. I mean, it's still very cool to have. I'm not saying it's a bad record. It's still a really great record. It just didn't knock me off my feet. So there you go. I was going to say, oh yeah, so this first one here, just when I was thinking of Agitation Free, it just reminded me. When I listened to this, I thought about the Solaris soundtrack, which, hang on a second. I immediately, thought of this record. Very similar atmospheres. If you've heard this one and you haven't heard this one, that's sort of an indication of what this one sounds like. Very tense music as well. Yeah, I don't know. I just sort of throw that in there. Yeah, so there you go. Cool. Alright, so next record. Speaking of Wawa reissues, I was at Anthony's house. I reckon it would have been maybe 6 or 7 months ago. And he pulled out this Helden record that I wasn't aware of. And as soon as I saw the cover art, I knew it was going to be great. I knew that it was something I would like, and he put it on, and I probably didn't show it, but I was stunned by how great that record was, and it was immediately right up on top of the list. So that record is Agnes Nillsson, which is Held by the band Helden. This is their fourth record. So I sold a couple of records on Discogs, and with that money I picked up an original of this, which as you can see is in mint condition, on Eurus Records out of France. So this record's been reissued on Wawa, but yeah, this is an original. Again, it's that classic Helden sound, but it's just a lot more electronic and like laid back's the wrong word, but it hasn't, you know how Helden has that like pounding drums or guitar with the electronics sitting through it. This is probably a bit more laid back and spacious. So that's the on the original label. Of the Helden records I've heard, which is probably about 4 or 5, this is my favourite. You know, there's still obviously a handful more that I haven't heard yet, but so far, and I mean, look at that! Isn't that artwork amazing? I was reading up on this record online, and apparently the artwork is inspired by a book called something about a Nazi regime on a different planet called Helden, and they used to murder people who were mutants, or children who were mutants, or something like that, and that's what the artwork was inspired by. I can't remember the full details. It was something that I thought that was really cool. I think I love that artwork. It's so ominous. Very cool. Okay. Anthony and I went for a dig a couple of weekends ago. Did I show this? You know what? I reckon I've shown this record already. Maybe I haven't. Did I make a video? Maybe I didn't. No, because I guess my last video would have been my Wellington record finds. Anyway, if I didn't show this, this is Schwa Blackouts. Or maybe I did show this. Who knows? Anyway, this is from, when is this one? This is 1978. This is an original UK press. Schwa Blackouts. Obviously very guitar based, quite heavy, and a bit more punchy is not the right word, but there's a lot more layers happening in comparison to New Age of Earth. It's really good. It's not as good as New Age of Earth. I don't think. That's my opinion. Yeah, an amazing cover art. I love that cover art there. It's a great record. So it's on the let's have a look, on the Virgin label. So there you go, Schwa Blackouts. Okay, so another one, I did some trading and I decided to treat myself and get it. Speaking of Schwa, this is Schwa Temple, New Age of Earth. This is an original French pressing on the Isadora label. As you can see, also in great shape. This was another Discogs purchase. Milestone record, insane. Ambient, trance, new age, electronic, I don't know, stunning music. This is the, how cool is this label? Just pull it out. And the Isadora label. So yeah, this is just another one of those milestone records. Do you know, I was at a record store, this is going to be like a minor rant, a couple of weeks ago, when I was back in New Zealand, and they had like a top 50, on their wall they had their top 50 records of all time, or the top 50 most important records. And I looked at the list, I was looking at it, and I think the top 5 was Beach Boys, Pet Sounds, Miles Davis, Kind of Blue, I think it was like Rolling Stones, Beggar's Banquet, Abbey Road, and then it was something slightly weird, like you wouldn't think. It was like, I can't remember. It was something like Creedence Clearwater Revival or something like that. And I was just like, if I had a record store and I was talking about the top 50 influential albums, like this would be, surely this would be top 5 easily, any day, you know? I don't know. Anyway, I was just Then I started thinking about it. You know, I would like to write a list of sort of like what, as far as I know, you know, influential albums that way. I'm not saying that, you know, those records listed were not influential, absolutely influential, but I don't know. I don't know why I'm ranting about this. It doesn't really matter. There's always going to be arguments. It was just one of those like boring, dad, middle of the road lists. I don't know. Anyway, last record. Picked this up last weekend. Rock and Roll. This is American space rock from 1982. 1982. This is so far ahead of its time. This is just incredible, percussive, rhythmic, just searing guitars. Amazing, killer thumping bass lines that run through it, just driving it on. Yeah, a really great record. Just self-titled from 1982. This is a reissue. I think it was originally on Sunday Records, and it's just a they've just replicated the artwork. I'm not sure. Either way, killer space rock. Yeah, so that's all. That's a small selection of things I've picked up. All you sort of get the idea of the vein that those records were in. I've tried to be a bit descriptive where I can, but yeah, hopefully you get the idea. There's always the whole of YouTube to listen to music if you need. Hope you're doing well. I don't know what else to say. I've had about 4 or 5 entries to my contest now, which is really cool. I'll probably let it go for another month. I'm not particularly in a rush to announce a winner or anything like that. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes, I suppose. This is probably the most casual contest in VC history. But yeah, to the people that entered so far, I am really enjoying them. Just to see stuff that I would never normally see, or never know about, and even just for those 15 minutes of end of a video, you pick up a lot that you would never normally get. So I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, that is it. I'm going to try and do another video with some jazz pieces next. So stick around for that.